Today we wanted to talk about this structure that it can take to hold a creation. When you are building something energetically, it requires a great amount of energetic focus. It is not just the focus that you apply to something in your structured daily habits. It is a very large amount of energetic focus. One could talk about this like growing a pregnancy. There is a protective energy around the process. And the process involves so many factors and does take so much energy from the person. And this is not just due to the physical attributes of a pregnancy, it is due to the amount of energy that is being taken by the being to form this. And it is easy for us to understand this when looking at the example of pregnancy, because we can see the physical tax that it is taking. But when we are creating something, when we are working on a goal, working on a dream, when we are showing up, building the habits, building the consistency, we cannot see the physical tax. We cannot see the energetic tax either. We might assume that this is fatigue, and we might assume that these are things that are happening that are just normal, run-of-the-mill, 3D, if you will. They aren't. When we give you a mission, and you are pouring your heart and soul into the creation of that mission, and you are doing something tangible, you are creating something, you are taking physical steps, you are working on the process, sharing the information, you are your own protective container. Because it takes so much energy to achieve a message, to achieve a mission, shall we say, there can be so much that can divert your energy in the process. This is why when you are starting something like a spiritual business, you may see wealth loss. This is why when you are struggling to balance something you're creating spiritually, which is actually taking an enormous amount of energy from you, like a business, a container, anything, and it can be anything you might be creating, but we're talking specifically to most light workers here. It is not just the effort that you put in, it is the energy that you are expending from your energy container to build the thing that is creating so much exhaustion. And because if you are not filling up your cup in the other areas of your life, if you are overgiving, if you are overextending, you actually start to rob your own physical energy. When you rob your own physical energy, when you are taking it and it is leaving you, you are going to experience things like burnout, ill health, etc. And it is because of the amount of spiritual energy and life force energy that this is taking from you. And so this is why when you are on a spiritual journey, you have to be very careful about who is in your life. You have to be very careful about what is allowed in your life. The stakes and what you could get away with before vibrationally will not be the same. You might see a lot of nutritional changes. You might see physical body changes. Our channel definitely did see those. She had to expand her nutrition. She had to expand her day-to-day. She had to close off quite a few connections in her life to sustain the energy needed to be able to fulfill the mission that we had given her. This is true of all spiritual people. And so we encourage you, if you're running into roadblocks with what you are creating, if you're running into roadblocks with your business, your creative enterprises, a goal, something that means a lot to you, writing a book, whatever it may be, we encourage you to look at your energy expenditure on a spiritual level, and we encourage you to start finding ways to pour back in. Our channel created her way of pouring back in, which is her program, which will be listed below. This is how this channel was able to start pouring back into her energy when the people in her life might not have. When you are on a spiritual mission, you may become less relatable, and you may need to have higher standards of who you have in your life, what you allow in your life, how you conduct, because you are a conductor, and this is what you may not understand. You are a conductor of energy. And so if you are creating something, you are that thing. You are the energy battery for what you are creating until it energetically can sustain itself. And it energetically sustaining itself will vary from person to person, and it'll vary on what the project is as well. It will take quite a bit of time until this starts to happen. And so until that happens, it is on you to carry it. It is on us as well, and we will assist you, but you will feel the biggest draw because it is drawing from your energy. It is drawing from what you are creating. And so if you also work another job on top of this, or you have children, you have something that is creating a large amount of energy expenditure in another direction, this is split energy. You will feel split between these two things, or these 5 things, these 6 things. It is so important that you create a way that you allow your energy to replenish itself, and that you allow the universe to replenish you, because you are creating something just like a pregnancy. There is a reason why they say it takes a village to raise a child. And a mom, as you may know if you are one or have been one, you may know that it does take a very large amount of energy for that being to sustain that creation. This is a very physical example of what we are trying to explain. This is the same thing that happens when you are creating something. You are creating something that is feeding off you for a small period. You are pouring your energy into it, and it will demand a lot from you as that container begins to be shaped. This is why it is so important that you create ways for what you are creating to run itself. This is why your energetic alignment in what you create is so important. It needs to not take too much from you. It needs to be able to meet you where you are at with your health needs and where your schedule is at and what you can give. You, as the creator of the thing and sustainer of the thing, need to have very strong energy boundaries around how much you are willing to give, because you can't hold so much at once. When you try to hold so much at once, holding the container, holding feeding it before it is released out into the world, holding the social media advertising you may do, holding the talking about it, talking it into the ground, holding the it's not making me money, it's not making me enough, it's not making me this, it's not making me that, whatever your woes or complaints that are totally valid about the thing may be. Do you see why it might be so much to carry? Do you see why so many people, even though they are aligned with what they're creating, even though they love it, even though it is blissful and beautiful to them, it may not be the correct energetic calibration? It may be asking too much. Our channel has been exploring this for the last few months with something that she had created previously that was taking too much from her. Many things in her business had been doing that because this channel had created things from an external calibration, not an internal. And we invite you to create something from an internal calibration. Make sure what you create has room for you. Make sure what you create feeds your energy. Make sure what you create is set up to run without you at some point. Make sure what you create actually pours back into your life long term and not detract from it. With how our channel had built what she had built, it was not aligned with her because of how much she had to pour out to maintain it. It never would have sustained itself without her. It was not built to do so. And so we encourage you to create things that give you room to breathe and work more at your alignment than anything else, because there is no reason why things have to look a certain way. This channel plays a lot of games to be able to understand how to align herself, the transformation game being one of them. Very, very fun and very, very informative and very spiritually intuitive. You can Google it if you would like. This channel also uses a practice that she had built called Plant Your Seed in the Right Soil. And this is a manifestation workshop available in Energy Mastery that is about 30 odd minutes. But the point of it is this particular energetic working is able to clear out what is not aligned and plant your intention in what is, but also tell you how to run it, to tell you what's calibrated to you. Sometimes we have an idea and we believe it is so beautiful, so attractive, so magnetic, and it is in theory. This is where it's different in paper than it is in reality. On paper, you might see there is no reason why this thing cannot succeed. Energetically, that is where you need to look. Where energetically may it not succeed? Where may it not fit into your life? Where may you not have the space to run it? Where might you have to shift your day, your habits, your your whatever you need to shift to be able to do this in a way that does not harm you. So many of you will create something and take off running. You'll take off running with no consideration of how it may affect you, because you're going to deal with that later. That's not the fun part of the process. You're taking off running and you're enjoying the show. And then 6 months later, you're asking, why isn't this feeding me? I created an energy suck. We want to tell you that you create from your patterns. This is why so many people will leave a 9 to 5 and create something only to have it to drain everything from them, because it's the same thing. It's just in different clothing. This is where your energetic patterns really need help as a light worker when you are creating some way to express your soul's mission. We know that not a lot of people love mentors. We know that not a lot of people love investing money in someone else, but this channel has done it many times and swears by that. The reason is you need a village. You need support. You need someone who can see things from the outside, and you need someone who has done what you have done. So you may start following people who are doing this. You may start following people who have something similar to you. Listen to their advice. If you are feeling really stuck, you might join a container that they offer. This container is part of many, or this channel is part of many, and this has fed her. This has been the place where she shows up to be poured back into, and it has really made her life have more space. Whatever you need to create more space for you is actually what is going to allow your container to succeed, because it has more available energy. It is available energy. Whatever you create has to be compatible with you long term. So what do you want? Start off with what you want your business, your creation to do for you. Start from there. Perhaps you want to make a certain amount of money a month, but we also look at, how do you want to feel? Do you want to feel free? Do you want to have time to take a vacation? Do you want to have time to spend with your friends and family? Do you want to work less? How much less do you want to work? Do you want to work 4 hours a week, 20 hours a week, 60 hours a week? What do you want? Paint the most clear possible vision of what it is that you want and start from there. Start from there vibrationally. Build it vibrationally first. What will happen is your body will start to calibrate to it, and your life will start to reorganize to create space for it. And it'll run properly the first time without having to drain everything from you and collapse. You do not want the things that you have created to collapse on you. You want them to be on a steady foundation from the beginning. So you have to start from the end. And when you start from the end, we'll give you an example. You want to create a online business that sells, it can just be packed up. There's no in-person whatever. You want something that can run without you one day. Well, you will need to be able to create how you want to feel. You want to feel free. You want to be able to have places in your routine where you just go deal with the business and leave. You want to be able to have things to be organized. You want to have steady and consistent sales. This is where you start from. And then you ask your spirit team or us, and you ask, can you align this for me? Can you show me what I need to do? Because what happens is a strong vibrational recalibration. This is like working out. We will use the pregnancy example again. Someone who is taking care of their physical body, their physical muscles, might have an easier pregnancy. They'll have an easier delivery. The reason is they've created space for that. They have attuned their body before they got to where they needed to be, so they were ready when it came. This is the same thing. This is vibrational conditioning. We would encourage you to listen to subliminals, sleep tapes. We would encourage you to daydream. We would encourage you to do all of the manifestation technique you are aware of, but instead of making the money, it should be about how you would like to feel, how easy it is, how streamlined it is, how your life just reorganizes itself, so when you launch whatever that is, it's already ready. It's already ready. Don't start things from the start. Start them from the end. Start them from how you want to feel. What is the end result? Be as clear as humanly possible, and we will start rearranging things to meet you. And you will not need to have your container be draining you the way that it is, because we are aware of a lot of things that you might not be aware of. We are aware of where you will go. We are aware of what your broader mission is. We are aware of what you are facing. We are aware of so much. And this is why this channel is always laughing, because there have been so many times where her spirit guide has had to sit down with her. Bless Joseph has had to sit down with her and tell her, no, you're not doing that this way. There was a time in life where this channel wanted something that should have been completely within reach and easily, and it took her a year. She had to completely recondition her body to hold the energy that it would have taken her to do this right. And that is why she is here now, because she has learned, create the thing before the thing is started. Create the groundwork for the thing so that when it lands, it can simply roll out. Things can be easier, but they are not if you are working without a plan. They are not if you are not co-creating, you are creating on your own. The people who want to take off running with an idea are the ones creating on their own. And then they might end up like this channel has so many times, standing in the middle of a mess going, but it should have worked. Because it should have worked. Should have worked. For someone else, it would have worked. That doesn't mean it's calibrated to you, though. That doesn't mean it's what's right for your energy, your mission, where you are going. We have all that intel, and we will gladly share it with you. You just need to ask. And this is where we go back into the creating a series of symbols to communicate with us. That's how you ask. If you are not someone who can channel, if you are not someone who does card readings or anything like that, you can use the universe around you. There's no excuse. We will give you everything you need. We will tell you. It is our missions to help you, and that's what we want to do. That is what feeds us. We like to feed you. And so we will tell you. It may be difficult for you to understand at first, but we just encourage you to spend time with it. Humans have a lot of resistance, and when they have a lot of resistance, they do not want to do certain things. When this channel was trying to open the location she has now, and her spirit guide told her to take a walk every day, she was furious, and she kept asking, what does this have to do with the end game? It had everything to do with it. She needed physical recalibration. She needed nervous system recalibration. She needed to reconnect to source. She needed to expand her heart field. Those walks did all of that for her. And over time, it compounded into something very energetically strong for her, where she had cleared so much out of her energy body. Her health had returned to a baseline she did not know it could. All because she followed that advice. And so you will hear her repeat this again and again, because what you see as unrelated is actually, and I'm going to swear, so fucking related. It is so deeply, deeply, deeply related that you would not believe it, but stop asking questions and just follow through. Follow through without needing to know everything, without needing to dissect everything, because that is how you have trust. If you need to know why all of the time, we understand this. We are why people too. It shows a lack of trust. And so you can simply ask us, Serapis Bay, why should I trust you on this? We will show you. We will show you why. When this channel started asking these questions, we sent her so many books. And the facial expressions she made when she would read these books, and her jaw would just drop and she would go, oh my God, okay. Because she did not have ways of accessing that knowledge, but we will give you the knowledge. We will give you the right people, the right opportunities, the right structure, the right everything. We just need you to be willing to bend, hear us out, and listen. It is difficult to hear us out, and we acknowledge that. Sometimes the decisions can be difficult. We understand, but we will very lovingly say, sometimes there are sacrifices that need to be made for something that matters so much to you. This channel just recently did something like this where she did not want to do it. And she argued with us for several hours. She did not want to do it, but she did. She did, and she cleared pathways because of it. She does not see it yet, but she will. And she has trusted us because she has done this many times, and she has seen the results, and she knows when your team is giving you advice, there's a good reason. You may need to take time to figure out why, but we encourage you to be open to things you might have resistance to, for we have very good reasons. We are not seeking to derail you on purpose. We are not seeking to muck up your life. We are telling you there is something better on the other side of this decision, on the other side of this calibration. There are things you do not know. And so what we are trying to say is there's so much that goes into creating something that you do not realize. Align yourself with what you want before. Allow it to be created on stable foundations, and you will see that this thing will evolve to serve you, and you will not be drained from it like you've been drained from other things in the past. It will stay with you long term, and it will create wealth for you. It will create alignment for you. It will continue to be feeding you as you once fed it. That is where you want to design something from. That is the place you want to create anything in your life from.